One of the reviews for this can says, before trying this, I didn't know true joy. Japan has an absolutely absurd amount of ready-to-drink canned and bottled coffee. It is impossible to leave my apartment without seeing a lineup of coffee, and as someone that is unashamedly addicted to espresso, you start to ask yourself which one of these canned coffees is the best. So I've traveled throughout Tokyo collecting every coffee I could find with the desire to rank each one from 1 to 10 and answer the question which one tastes the best. And after many weeks of scouring the streets, I believe I have every single bottled and canned coffee that Japan's vending machines have to offer. Before I get started, I just wanted to quickly say I opened up a Patreon account. So if you want more long form videos, your name in the video, and just to support me directly, check it out. More on that at the end of the video. Boss Black Coffee, arguably one of the most popular brands in all of Japan. With possibly the best brand logo of all these, smoking a pipe and ready to take a codec call from Colonel, it's easy to be swayed. To drive sales even further, they threw a bunch of Dragon Quest collab characters on every can, but my unbiased iron will isn't swayed by brand, only by taste. The very first coffee, Boss Black. The most default Dan of coffees. All right, here we go. It tastes very nothing. It's not offensively bad, it's not offensively bitter, it's almost a little watery, and it's not acidic. It is the most 5 out of 10 coffee. Hi, it's me, Editor Dante. Maybe this was due to the first one bias, but while I originally gave this one a 5 as a nice baseline, it does feel closer to a 4 now. I promise this is the only time this happened. Next, UCC Black Pride in Brew roasted coffee 100%. What does that mean? Immediately worse. This tastes exactly how I think Japanese coffee from a vending machine tastes. It's more sour than the Boss coffee. Less bitterer, more sourer, which I think makes it worse. So I'm giving this one a 3. It's a 3. Hino Kiwami Dotor Black. Kiwami means extreme. But Dotor is from an actual coffee shop, so I kind of expect this to be the exact same and not matter at all in any way. Oh, that ain't right. That ain't right. I think that is the worst of all of them so far. It's the second that it hits your tongue. It's just a funky weirdness of both sour and acidity. This I would avoid at all costs. I'm giving it a 2. W Coffee Black, a brand that I had never even heard of until I went and looked for coffee specifically for this video. Surprisingly less acidic. Yeah, surprisingly less acidic, less sour. It's almost a little smoky. It's surprisingly not bad. It's not like there's some small random no-name brand. It's like all the coffees up until this point have tasted like coffee drink. Just tastes like normal coffee. This one is the best thus far and I'm giving it a 5. Georgia Coffee Platinum Black, even though by now I've learned that everything that says platinum or premium, just marketing terms. Oh, it's so sour. Oh, it's like, yeah, it's not acidic. It's very sour. This smell is like old foot mixed with medicine. Watery, actual bitter coffee taste. So far, all of them I would still drink if someone handed it to me, like, this is all the coffee we got. But this one, I think I would actively like find a way to flush it or something when they weren't loyal. Like, this is disgusting. This is a 1. Ponca Coffee Black. Despite being not as cool as Boss, Ponca Coffee put a guy's face on the can way back in the 70s. During this time, they also invented the hot coffee vending machine. Not that I'm having any of these. Hot. Like the watery after image of a coffee. It's like running water through the grounds again. The smell isn't offensive, which is a low bar to pass at this point. It doesn't have any defining qualities. It's just kind of sour, bitter, and bad. I would give it a 3. Asahi brand Wanda Black, the aroma Asahi, it's Asahi. It says something about the smell on it. I guess like the beans smell really good. Smells, no. It's so bitter. It's bitter, but in the worst way. It's not a smooth bitterness. There's nothing interesting about the bitterness. It is just, again, extremely sour. I don't know why you would want this. It almost has like a potpourri smell. It smells like the bathroom at either a gas station or a fast food place. It doesn't smell like... It smells bad. Something about the smell is you smell this in a room and you need to leave that room immediately. The aroma, dude. I forgot to say the score, but this is not higher than a 1. TD's Coffee. It actually smells fine. It just smells like nothing, which I think is the best smell. It's not aggressively sour. It doesn't have a weird smell, but it's not good. 1?
It's giving nothing.
1?
It's water in a can.
It is watery, but I don't find anything about it aggressively bad other than it is just weak. It stands for Toilet Drinker Coffee.
Toilet Drinker's Coffee.
Toilet Drinker's Coffee. TD's Coffee. It's bad, don't get me wrong, but I think comparatively to some of the others that were an assault on my mouth, it's a 3 out of 10. Fire Black, which I expect this to have more of a roasted taste based on just the name, but it's probably just gonna taste the exact same as all the other coffees. It smells like one of the other ones, but I don't remember which one. I can say with confidence that the Black Fire coffee does not have a wood roasted coffee taste in any way, shape, or form. Taste, despite not being fire roasted, is not offensively bad. It does have a nice bitterness to it. Not a lot of sourness or acidity. Second best, but it still deserves a 5. Dido Zeppin Black. At this point, I already never want to drink one of these cans again. And I think we're only 8 or so in, 7, maybe less. I've lost count. I never want to drink another one of these coffees again. Looks completely different from all the other coffees.
It's a joke.
Can really tell, yeah. It was a joke. It's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Oh no. It is more nothing. It doesn't smell like mold, which is cool. It just has such a weird flavor when it immediately touches your tongue. Even though it says on the can, it has like a depth and a richness to it, which it just does not. That was just a lie. They lied. When it first hits your tongue, it's weird and funky, but then the actual lingering taste is not horrific. I'm really trying to defend like a 2 here. I don't know why I'm going to bat for a 2. I'm giving it a 2. There's no reason to buy this. Dido Cafe Lab Black. Dido did a line where they were saying that this was made by the world's best barista. It is smoother. Despite being the exact same bean, there's no additional amazing or terrible smell to it. So when you get more coffee, it's smoother, better, less sour, same brand, ultimately better, still bad. If the last one was a 2, this one is double as good, so it's a 4. Georgia Coffee Fragrant Black. Most of the beans they put on here are all from Brazil, which leads me to believe that Brazil probably has the cheapest coffee because they're probably buying the absolute cheapest beans that they can get their hands on. What?
What the f going on with Georgia?
I think I'm starting to lose my mind. It's very sour, probably just as bad as the other Georgia coffee, which was not great, but I swear the aftertaste, the lingering aftertaste, there is something weirdly almost caramel chocolate about it. I think because it does not smell like mold, even though it still smells quite bad, and the bitterness and richness is not there, I'm giving it a 2. Tully's Baristas Black Kilimanjaro. And for those not in the know, Tully's is a giant coffee chain just like Starbucks and Dotor. It's got like middle of the road everything. Middle of the road richness, bitterness, sourness, depth, middle of the road refreshing. So this should just be a middle of the road coffee. Whoa, it is different. Compared to the other coffees, it tastes extremely different. Slightly floral. And it would be hard to drink the whole can again. The richness and bitterness is pretty middle of the road. The sourness is middle of the road. And then it does just have a strange, almost floral sweetness to it. Unremarkable 5. Tully's Coffee Black Platinum Bitter. They would like me to believe that this is black coffee. This entire bottle was again from a vending machine for the exact same price as the other canned coffee. I think I'm dying. No.
That's like not bitter.
No, it's like not even, it's not bitter at all. It's just the same bitterness as every other coffee. Smells like meat? Does not smell like meat. Any sort of coffee that you're gonna make at home is gonna be more bitter than this. I don't even think it's that bad. I just think it's not too sour. It is not bitter and rich, so it did not deliver on what it's supposed to be. But for the size, price, and overall, there's nothing technically wrong with it, then I give it a low 5. Tully's Coffee Baristas Black, once again, but this time Arabica. Arabica. I don't know why it doesn't sound like a word in my head anymore. Arabica 100%. Arabica 100%. Something with an A 100%. Oh, what the heck?
Oh, it smells like mold again.
It smells like feet. I don't know how they do it. It smells like feet or mold. The smell is so bad that it is influencing the taste, but if you just focus on the taste, somehow fight past the smell of mold and dirty bathroom, the taste is very palatable. Comparatively to a lot of the other coffees, I did not find this sour at all. Maybe the mold is taking over and I'm now cannot taste anything anymore. The overall flavor is surprisingly smooth, but the smell is definitively mold. And for that, yeah, I know. I'm like, did this like expire or something? All right, so this expires in October. It is in fact not expired.
The mold is part of the experience.
The mold, it's naturally occurring mold in the brewing process. Taste it may get a 5, but the awful smell is lowering it to a 4. All right, back to hell with 7-Eleven. Same price as all the other coffees, except you get 375 grams of coffee. Smells palatable. It isn't that sour. The taste almost has a strange smokiness to it. I don't hate it. It made you gag, but I don't hate it. I really don't think it's that bad. Once again, would not go out of my way to buy it. The only redeeming quality I think is that it, to me, tastes a little smoky. I'd give it a 4. UCC Black, rich. Full-bodied bitterness. So this better be extremely bitter. Ideally should be better than the default UCC coffee, because I think all coffee needs to be full-bodied and bitter. Smell almost nothing. I can say with the utmost certainty that it is not full-bodied bitterness. It is not bad. Nothing strange, just back to something that you would get served on an airplane, cafeteria. It's hotel lobby coffee. Full-bodied bitterness of a hotel lobby. 3-star hotel lobby. I give it a 5. Family Boss Premium Geisha Blend. Family Boss is the convenience store Family Mart's exclusive varieties of Boss with their own unique blends that isn't just a branding thing. It kind of smells like paint thinner. It tastes yeasty. It smells like paint thinner put on top of a loaf of bread. It's like the idea that the coffee sat next to some bread on the same truck as the bread. Why does it taste like bread? It is strange. It is unique. And I honestly thought this was just going to be a rebrand of something else that you could just get at Family Mart because they wanted their own unique Family Mart item. But I don't hate it. It's just weird. So I feel like I'd give it a 4. I give it a 4. Boss Stand Iced Black. The weirdest part is if you look on the ingredients list, Brazil and Colombian beans, which isn't that weird, but it uses caramel food coloring, which I don't think coffee should require food coloring to look like coffee. It should just look like coffee. It tastes like nothing. It tastes like just water. Doesn't actually say coffee, just iced black. It's iced black water. I didn't buy coffee. I accidentally bought iced black water. Faintest hint of coffee flavor. It's not acidic and it's not offensive, but that's because there's no flavor to be offensive. Somehow it tastes like water, and I would never want this if I bought a coffee. I'd rather just drink anything else. So I think I'm going to give it a 2 because it is nothing. Dido Black Coffee, Drip Coffee. This is Dido Drip Coffee. Oh, they just have it in English on this side. Black coffee using drip coffee. Using drip coffee. What does that mean? Sustainable mind. That sounds like a sci-fi robot. The sustainable mind. All of these black coffees so far is that not a single one has smelled pleasant. Not a single one has smelled like, oh, I'm entering a coffee roastery, a cafe. None of these smell pleasant. They either smell weird, bad, like mold, or just inoffensive. It is fine.
It's fine.
It is surprisingly fine. I almost just want to give it a 6 because it's fine. Maybe a 5. Lightly sour. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not too bitter. It does taste like drip coffee. And if I was given this, I think I would be able to drink it without any issues. It's not remarkable. It's not terrible, so it's a 5. Wanda Clear Black. And Wanda recently rebranded this to Morning Americano. Despite claiming to be a blend of espresso and drip coffee and having a suspiciously low amount of caffeine per serving of both, making me think this is definitely watered down. Highly fragrant. Big fragrance. No aftertaste. I really want to find just one. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the good one. Smell is, you know what, Wanda Clear Black? They were right, there is no aftertaste. Because just like the Boss Iced Black, it tastes like water. I don't know why they keep perpetuating this lie of fragrance inside these coffees because they just don't smell good. There's almost no acidity. It's almost like a watery cold brew. Very little bitterness, very little wrong with it. I just don't want it repeatedly. I think if I had to choose Wanda Clear Black or Boston Iced Black, I would prefer Wanda Clear Black. It did deliver on its promise on there's no aftertaste. It is almost like drinking the Gatorade rain of coffee. Despite everything, it's still 5. The King's Cup of black coffee, every single coffee that we just had combined into one glass. It honestly doesn't smell that bad. I think combining every single coffee into one glass has pulled up the worst coffees into the it's fine territory. Completely got rid of the mold smell. Mold smell gone. So if you have an issue where you need to drink really bad coffee, just combine it with all the mediocre coffee and it tastes fine. All of them combined, I would give it either a high 4 or a low 5. On to my personal favorite kind of coffee I have every morning, espresso. So needless to say, I was kind of excited to try all of these. Wanda makes a trio of espresso blends, and this is the default black espresso blend. It says on the can on the side, hot or cold. So we're doing it cold. And I hope it's a lot better than yesterday's. I can already smell it from here. It looks exactly like the black coffees from yesterday. It smells exactly like the black coffees from yesterday. It tastes almost exactly like the black coffees from yesterday. Not vile, not amazing. It still has that weird artificial taste. Very light sourness. I'm disappointed that that said espresso. I'd give it a 3. We're getting into the sugar territory with rich, low sugar Wanda Espresso blend. Oh, there we go. That looks, A, looks like sewage, but B, looks like it has something going on. The first coffee that looks different, because I'm pretty sure that this one has milk and sugar in it. Oh, no. No, it's worse than the black coffee. Oh, it's worse than the black coffee. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's vile. It's an abomination. Oh, it's so bad. No. Nothing about this tastes like an espresso. I don't know why it says espresso blend. It has a syrupy, artificial sugarness to it. The sugar gets rid of the sourness, but the coffee flavor also disappears. So it just feels like I'm drinking weird milk drink with artificial sugar, like artificially sweetened milk drink. It's bad. It's terrible. It tastes bad. I'm giving it a 2. The final one of the Wanda brand is the Rich Cafe au Lait Espresso Blend. It does have in big giant letters in the ingredients list, number 1, milk. Milk. Oh God. Oh, it smells like either candied coffee or medicine. Oh my God. Yeah.
Caramelly.
Yeah, it is caramelly. Very syrupy, very sweet, very little coffee taste again. The artificial sugar is still very present. That, I think I just could not finish it. God, it's so bad. If I gave the other one a 2, this has to be a 1. If I gave the other one a 3, this has to be a 2. Wanda Deep Mountain. And it also says low sugar. I'm so sorry. It smells a lot better. And by that, I mean it has no smell. Against all odds, the garbage cheap can version is better than the larger, rich flavor espresso. It has more of a smoky bitterness to it. It is still the same level of sweetness, still the same level of sourness as the light sugar espresso, but it's just got a hint of smokiness that gives it more of an actual coffee taste. So if I give that one a 3, I gotta give this one a 4. Georgia Coffee Espresso, hold the E. And it just says full-bodied espresso. It's espresso. It says made with fresh cream and Brazilian bean. But the fresh cream in a can kind of worries me. But maybe that means that it won't have that artificial taste. Smells different. Smells more caramelly. It has less of a medicine taste, if at all. But it still lacks like any kind of bitter coffee taste when compared to the last one had at least some kind of smokiness. If I was served an espresso or anything with an espresso shot in it that tasted like this, it wouldn't, you would shoot the barista. It wouldn't be right. It's impossible. They would have had to fundamentally completely botch the espresso process. God, they're all bad. They're all bad. But compared to Deep Mountain, I guess I would have to give it a 3 because it's the same level of artificial sweet, milky taste, but it lacks any kind of espresso. Hakka Espresso Hitoyasumi Plain. This guy looks lame. This guy looks like a door-to-door salesman trying to sell me something. Oh God. It's very weird. It is very strange. I wouldn't call the sweetness rich. It still tastes near medicinal. Why does it taste like herbal? It's like medicinal milk that has been infused with some sort of herbal essence that has spoiled. Because it doesn't taste like any of the black. It's not like, oh, it's acidic, it's rich. Redeeming quality, you could drink it if you were dying of thirst in the desert. And that's better than a 1. A 1, I would throw it out if I was stranded in the desert. But this is a 2. Family's Boss, the Espresso Red, with dark, rich flavor and original blend. Now that means anything. Oh, and on the side, they say that it uses the highest quality Brazilian bean. And then if you look, I believe it says right here, 51% are Brazilian beans that we say are the highest quality. Couldn't tell you. I'm still just getting like a general milky taste. So I guess for people who hate coffee, you could drink this and pretend that you're drinking coffee. Like those cigarettes, the candy cigarettes that they make for children. It's just a syrupy, milky taste. There's almost no actual coffee richness, bitterness, or any sort of depth of flavor. An unfortunate 3. Family's Boss, the Espresso Gold. And I immediately got my hopes up because it says dark roast. Bitter dark roast. Rich, bitter dark roast, but light sugar. And as someone that exclusively drinks dark roast, the light sugar part is probably gonna make this taste terrible. Much more watery. It has less of a syrupy taste, but it does have that artificial sugar taste. Nothing about this tastes like a dark roast. In bitterness, it tastes the exact same level. There's very little acidity. It's less syrupy. It's almost a little chalky. It coats your tongue in a weird way, and I feel like maybe that's because because of the artificial sweeteners or whatever's going on in here. And while it is more watery, which is worse, it's less syrupy. So it's kind of good and bad in the same direction. So I'd still give it a 3. The final punishment is enjoying all 8 of the espresso blends mixed together in a king's cup. This is torture. This is like, they're all bad.
Not really good part.
Oh, it's vile. It's so bad. Worst one that had a medicine quality comes through the most and masks any redeeming quality. If it was that or drink your own piss in the desert, I would drink that at a firm 2. After the disastrous espressos, I was left wanting anything that was at least drinkable, a mere 5 out of 10, so it's now up to the cafe au laits, meaning a ratio of usually 1 part coffee to 1 part milk. Back to Boss brand Cafe au lait. It says it uses Hokkaido cream. Honestly, if anything doesn't say Hokkaido cream on it and it's ice cream or something, you should be suspicious. Doesn't smell bad. I don't hate it. It is very milky. It is very sweet. Like you can taste the sugar content. There's almost no coffee flavor. You're basically just drinking a sweetened milk ice cream drink. I wouldn't get it. Out of all the milky drink, this one might be a good baseline. That it's just sugary, milky. It doesn't do anything wrong. It doesn't do anything amazing. It's just sugary milk. So I'd give it a 5. Pure and Fire Luxury Cafe au lait. Oh no. Immediately worse than the Boss one. The nuttiness does make it taste more medicinal, like the blend. It has that syrupy funkiness to it. Not bitter at all, still very sweet milk flavor, but a very unpleasant milkiness. I feel like it's pretty bad. I find it undrinkable. Disgusting, I think. I feel like I gave it a 2. Ooh. Wanda's Special Cafe au lait with full-bodied taste, which will probably mean sweet and milky and still pretty bad. It smells kind of caramelly. I don't mind it as much. I find it less medicinal than the Fire one. There's just the tiniest hint of 4 coffee beans at the very beginning when it hits your tongue. The like rich caramelness is doing a lot of work. Sweet caramel drink, even though nowhere on here does it say that it's caramelly at all. Like you have no idea what you're buying when you buy this. But if you want sweet caramel drink with the slightest hint of coffee, then I guess this is it. And yeah, all right, I give it a 6. It is better than the Boss one. I give it a 6. I think that was the first one that I'm like, I don't feel like dying. W Coffee. Cafe au lait, 20% milk. ×2 polyphenol, which apparently helps with literally everything and I'm sure actually works. Why would I want that in my cafe au lait? I'm probably gonna be inflamed after trying all of these, so I'm glad, really. I'm glad they were thinking of me. Smells bad. I did not like the aftertaste at all. It is caramelly, but I think it's worse. Once again, it tastes just funkier, more artificial milk product from a can, which I mean, that's what it is, right? But it's really just the aftertaste. The first part is just pure sweet milk, a little caramel, but then something about the aftertaste is just medicinal and strange. So I give it a 4. Pocket Coffee Cafe au lait. I don't think it's bad because there is just, if you just pour sugar into stuff, it can't be that disgusting. The sugar will just mask the problems with it. I would still prefer the Wanda over this for sure. It has like a roastedness to it, like a hojicha tea smell. There's almost no coffee taste. It almost tastes more like milk tea. Very sugary, and I think it fails at being anything coffee adjacent, but for a milk tea, maybe. I give it a 5. TD's Coffee. Toilet Drinkers Coffee. I'm gonna get sued by TD's Coffee. Oh, has a strange smell again. Tastes like those caramel square chews. They're just blocks of caramel candy. It just tastes like sugar and caramel, yeah. There's no weird aftertaste. It's just simple sugar caramel. I would say it is better than the other one we had, so I'd give it a 5. Custom Coffee Cafe au lait. The only cafe au lait to come exclusively in a bottle, and compared to the rest, you get a lot for the same price, which is usually a bad sign. Immediately tastes waterier. It does have a cereal taste to it. Cheerios or Frosted Flakes mixed with milk.
This is cereal. Caramelly cereal afterbirth flavor.
Caramel cereal afterbirth. Ignore the coffee beans on the front, they're just lying to you. It's not bad. If you just want a sweet milk drink, it is palatable. I just have to give it it's fine. I don't find it particularly good, so I'm giving it a 5. 7 cafe au lait coffees combined. It does have some of that weird sweetness in it, but it is better because it's diluted. So I'd give it's still below average, not very good, but better than just drinking some of the coffees by themselves. I'd give it a 4. Onto the cold brew section, UCC is actually the only brand I could even find that makes bottled cold brew in Japan. UCC cold brew, default black. Cold brew should just be less acidic, richer and bolder in taste, and it should just be a smooth bitterness. I don't know how you mess that up. You can literally just make it at home in your fridge. And of course, none of these come hot because drinking hot cold brew kind of defeats the purpose. It does taste similar to the black coffees, but noticeably less acidic, which is exactly what I want out of a cold brew. Moderate amounts of funk, and it's been sitting in a bottle forever. But compared to the cold brew in the fridge, it does taste closer to it. It's not amazing. I'm not saying it's great. I would much prefer a fresh cold brew. If the best black coffee was at a 5 and this is better than the best black coffee, then it's a 6. If we did half scores, I'd give it a 5.5. UCC cold brew latte. This, I feel like, is gonna be bad. Should be the exact same thing, except they just added milk, which sounds simple, but they probably found a way to screw it up. Because looking at the back, it didn't say any weird sweeteners or anything. I'm pretty sure it just says, oh, it does have sugar in it. Yeah. Well, that's a bad sign. Smells really good.
Whoa!
So bad.
What the hell?
It's so bad. It's so bad. I take it all back. The cold brew doesn't help at all. It's like chalky. I'm getting aftertaste of calcium Tums tablet. So terrible. Oh, it's pretty bad. I would give it a solid, firm yet fair 2. UCC cold brew latte non-sweet. This should be better. If this isn't better, I don't understand. Because this one has almost the exact same ingredients, just no added sugar. It should just be coffee and milk. This should be at least a 3. There's no way that this is worse. It already smells way less pungent. Whoa. There is no coffee taste. It tastes like when I pour out cold brew and I put ice in it and milk, and then it gets to the very bottom of the cold brew glass, and there's a little bit of like milky ice, vaguely coffee flavored backwash at the bottom of the glass. They've screwed it up in new and exciting way. So I'm giving it a 2. Decaf. The only decaf coffee in the entire lineup for the sickos out there that like decaf. Except I don't think I've ever even had a decaf coffee before. So maybe it'll just taste the exact same. Oh, what? What? It tastes completely different. Play-Doh-y? Why does it taste so bad? It's still bitter. There's no acidity to it, just like the other cold brew. Almost how Play-Doh smells, but it's not quite floral. It's almost like slightly leafy or vegetal. It just smells artificial. It smells like manufactured smell. It's like when you eat bread and it still has a little bit of flour left on it, or like you didn't bake the cake all the way. And if that's what decaf coffee is supposed to taste like, which I highly doubt it, then I have no desire to ever drink decaf coffee in my entire life. Definitively worse than the normal cold brew, but more drinkable than anything with sugar and milk in it. But I still don't like it, so I'm giving it a 3. And of course, the King's Cup of cold brew. Somehow better than the sugar milk latte by itself. Funkiness and sugariness and syrupiness has gotten watered down from the cold brew. So weirdly enough, combining it with the black cold brew, I'd give it a 3 instead of a 2.
Next, the milk category, and I don't understand how these would even be different, but I'm gonna find out.
Dido brand M coffee, milk and mild, bam. Enjoy the smooth, mild flavor of a coffee with more milky taste, because I want all my coffees to have more milky taste. Ooh, milky and sweet, but there's just that weird, funky aftertaste. I feel like it is not smooth at all. Coffee's mild in flavor because there's no coffee taste whatsoever. Yeah, I feel like this one loses the caramel quality and is just grossly sweet. It's got pretty bad aftertaste. I feel like I give it a 3.
Georgia milk coffee. As helpful as it is to understand Japanese, there was a time where not knowing that it said luxury in domestic milk was truly a boon, because I guarantee that is going to be useless information.
It is different. It is very different. It doesn't have that weird funky milk taste. Maybe 1% coffee, but it is more, yeah, it's not caramel, it's more maple. It's not bad. It is very much a sweet milk drink, but that's what it's advertising. I feel like I couldn't give it below a 5. Honestly, if you want a sweet caramel drink, I don't hate it. I feel like I give it a 6.
Milk and coffee from a brand that usually just makes milk to be sold at onsens after taking a dip, because there's nothing like drinking cold milk after soaking in a hot tub.
This is the one drink they do that has coffee. So I feel like if anyone is gonna have good milk taste, it should be these guys. It is a little more watery. It doesn't punch you in the face immediately. It's not smooth and creamy, which I was hoping it would be, because they literally specialize in milk. It does have a little bit of the caramel taste to it as well, but it tastes like a syrupy caramel flavor was added to it. So it's too sweet. There's not a lot of coffee taste. The milk is not smooth, but it is still better than the M coffee, so I give it a 4.
Taco coffee, milk coffee, brown sugar.
And I feel like generally anything with brown sugar instead of normal sugar, to me, is going to taste better. Just maybe it has more of a coffee maybe it has more of a coffee flavor. It does not have more of a coffee flavor. Kind of just tastes like drinking liquid brown sugar, which is not very pleasant. So I guess if you just love liquid brown sugar and weird milk, canned milk product taste, drinking the whole thing again would be rough, so I'm giving it a 3.
UCC milk coffee, the very first Japanese canned coffee, and also the first canned coffee I ever had as a kid.
It is definitely thicker than the other coffees. It's way less watery. Yeah, what? It's really weird. It is very different from all the other ones. Still doesn't taste like coffee almost at all, which is probably why as a kid I was like, dang, maybe coffee can be good. I mean, this is 99% sweet milk taste, but it has, yeah, I'm trying to identify what the heck's going on here. It's not bad, like starchy. Yeah, it's like syrupy corn aftertaste. I'd say 4 is fine. 4 is like, I don't think I would ever go for this one over anything higher. I would never crave this flavor, but it's not dump into the sink level bad. Wanda adult milk coffee. When Japan puts adult on stuff, it doesn't mean anything bad or sketchy. It just means the flavor is more for an adult palate. Might have less sugar, might be more toned down, might be richer or more bitter. Oh, it's vile. It's terrible. Oh, it's back to like that medicinal taste.
Oh.
It's so bad. I think it's like nasty. Dive bombs into bitterness after maybe halfway of it hitting your tongue. Like you took like something charred and then you ran water through it, which maybe their coffee beans just suck. They're just using like burnt garbage coffee. It's not even burnt beans, it's more burnt food. It's weird. Why is it so bad? It is like watery at first. It does not taste relaxing moment. I kind of think this is worse than all the other ones. I'm giving it a 2. UCC brands, Ueshima, Precious Coffee Moments, Milk Coffee. Feel like they're trying to come off as more of a luxury brand. Not necessarily insanely expensive coffee, just $1 sign higher than bargain bin, bottom of the barrel coffee. Now that it's left my mouth, there's no weird aftertaste. It just is gone. It just goes away. The glass bottle Starbucks Frappuccino, which is the definitive go-to coffee drink of my mom. And I think this is literally the same thing. Yeah, it just starts off sweet. It's a little caramelly. There's no acidity. There's very, very slight coffee taste, but there's nothing weird or bad about it. And it's not too watery. It's still very sugary and sweet, but compared to all the other ones, there's nothing wrong with it. If I had to choose one out of all of the milk coffees thus far, this one was the best. I'm like shocked, but that gives me a lot of hope because the next one is brown sugar. It might be a 7. It could be a 7. I know I'm getting crazy. I was trying not to get 0.5 ratings, but I do genuinely think this one deserves a 6.5. Ueshima Precious Coffee Moments, but with brown sugar milk coffee instead. It smells very brown sugar, like even just the aroma of it. Were you into it? You look like you're into it. 5, 8? You love it? An 8? My wife gives it an 8.
Good.
Unbelievable. It is good. Smooth brown sugar milk drink. I don't want to call it coffee. Really not a lot of bitterness. It just tastes like milk and brown sugar you got mixed for you at an actual store. I mean, it's down to these two for which one's the best. And if you're calling that one an 8, that's a bold claim when nothing's gotten over a 7.
That's the first one I've drinking that I'm like, wow, I would drink this.
Out of all the coffees that I've tried thus far, only these two and maybe one of the black coffees I could see ever purchased.
Sugar.
I think you're right. I think the brown sugar is actually better. This one's got more of like a sweet liquid caramel taste, and this one is more brown sugar. And at the end of the day, I do like brown sugar drinks more than caramel drinks. Like if I got a coffee with brown sugar, I would prefer it over a coffee with caramel. I'm like shocked these are palatable. They're still like, for me, they're very sweet. I wouldn't want to drink the entire thing in one sitting. If you want a sweet drink, then these are good. Instead, if it tasted like the Starbucks Frappuccino, but with brown sugar, then it would be better. So I think it is the first one that I will reluctantly give a 7. Not an 8. An 8's insane. I go to 7. A 7. And thus, the Cup of Kings. Every Japanese milk coffee combined into one delectable glass. It's not very good. It's not very good. It has that sour funk. There's a lot happening and it's all unpleasant. I hate it. I feel like the majority flavor I got was still that weird, funky dairy product in a can flavor, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't know. This is do not combine the milk one. I'd give this a 2. Combining all the milk ones,
God.
hard 2. On to the latte section, which is my usual choice when I'm not feeling a cappuccino. Should be an espresso shot and mostly frothed milk, that's all we need here. Wanda Good Cafe Royal Latte. Coffee version, they rebranded this one to Morning Americano. Despite an Americano not having espresso or frothed milk. Got a nice chocolate brown color, except to me a latte should have espresso in it. There's no way that they put espresso in. I don't hate it, and it might be because I'm just getting used to the taste of these. It tastes the exact same as a lot of the cafe au lait ones. It does have a little bit of coffee bitterness to it. It's still mostly sweet milk, but I feel like compared to the cafe au laits, I do like this more than most of them already. I will give it a passable 5. Georgia Coffee, the latte. And I have a bad feeling about this because the color is not only brighter, but in Japanese it says double milk latte. Is there any coffee in this at this point? It has like a cheese taste. There's no way it's gone bad, right? Nope, it says May, so it has definitely not gone bad. No sign of coffee, maybe a little bit of bitterness lingering on your tongue. Oh, it's really weird. It just does taste like cheesy milk mixture. It's just big dairy. It just tastes like cheese. Why does it taste like cheese?
Very cheesy 3.
Back to 7-Eleven's bargain bin drinks, and I think it cost the exact same. It was about $1 for this much. You're getting double the amount of coffee compared to everything else, if this even is coffee. That is so bad. That is medicinal. That's disgusting. That's so bad.
Whoa!
Putrid. You have a face of someone that hates it.
This is the first undrinkable zero.
It's like actually medicinal. There's no coffee, there's no creamy milk flavor. It is pure acidic.
I've always said they're all
What?
bad, but this is the first one where I'm like, dump that shit.
NyQuil latte flavor. Sour and bitter and unpleasant, and it gives me the lingering feeling of when you take a pill and then the outside coating of the pill is still on your tongue. When you're at 7-Eleven and you can just walk 4 feet to the actual coffee machine that'll grind the beans for you, just pay the extra $1. I don't understand how they could sell something that tastes like that and then it stays on shelves. Someone had to have tasted that at the factory and been like, yeah, this is drinkable.
Psychopath. That is the
It's really bad. It's really bad. I guess I have to rate. After all that, I still have to rate it. Yeah, I think I give it a 0.
Boss Stand Iced Latte.
Which I believe the other Boss Stand drink, which was the iced, it says there is coffee in the drink. They put that on the side. After the last one, this is a 10. It's not that great. There's no bitterness. It is still sweet. There's still that sort of artificial milk, weedy milk left over after cereal quality to it. The other Boss Stand, the iced coffee, was also extremely watery. And this was after shaking the ever-living shit out of it. If I gave the other one a 4 or 5, I would give this one a 3. Craft Boss Latte, because we're doing lattes. Except it says, just like the Georgia one, I think, it says double cafe latte, which I don't know if that means a double shot of espresso or if it means double the milk amount. And I kind of feel like it doesn't mean double shot of espresso. Oh no, it actually does say double the amount of coffee. It says milk and then double coffee, which sounds great. But they can write whatever they want on these labels and they're all meaningless at this point. There is more of a bitterness to it. In a latte, it being sour is kind of weird. It is less sweet than some of the other ones. It is weirdly sour. It's not disgusting. Reluctant 5. Another Boss Coffee Farm Cafe Latte with the actual label of all the coffee beans spilling out. I don't know. It makes me think that it's going to taste better. So the label's working on me. It doesn't have a strong smell. Doesn't have a whole lot of anything going on in any bad way. I don't mind it. Mildly sweet. It still is very sweet compared to an actual coffee, but it's still, the coffee flavor is still not rich and bold. I don't know what they're talking about. And when it first hits your tongue, it still has that like little bit of unpleasant milk product. A little bit, just a tiny, maybe just a little bit, but I think I would give it is very similar to the Starbucks Frappuccinos again, without any sort of caramel or brown sugar or anything. I would give it a 6. It is better than most of the middle of the road cafe lattes thus far. Tully's Coffee Platinum White Latte. Basically, the writing on the side is completely worthless and it just says that they strive to make every latte amazing at Tully's. Not that that has anything to do with the bottled drink. What is platinum white? Probably going to mean incredibly sweet. Whoa. It is really watery. It is incredibly watery. It is not good. It's still got a little bit of that like cheesy dairy. You made a coffee and just poured a bunch of milk into it with no added sugar, no nothing. And then you let it either sit on the table all day or you put ice in it and the ice kind of started melting. Like I just wouldn't want this. I'd give it a 3.
Beans and Roasters Milk Lovers Latte.
It says refreshingly sweet, which means I'm gonna love it. It just kind of tastes like really sugary milk. Hyper sugar. It did say, quote, refreshingly sweet, but I think we're entering sickly sweet territory. It's bad. It's disgustingly sweet, but in a weird way because of the artificial sugar. I'm giving it a 2.
Dido Cafe Lab Latte. Again made by the world's best barista, except no honorable barista would ever use artificial sugars, so I'm convinced there's no honor left in the world.
A little bit of a muted taste to it. It's still sweet milky, but it's more gentle artificial sweet milky taste. It is forgettable, and forgettable is better than bad in this case.
It was at this point I finally decided to look up what was the sugar substitute plaguing so many of these coffees.
It's acesulfame acesulfame, 200 times sweeter than sugar, discovered accidentally in 1967, and apparently now used in 90% of Japanese coffees. And why? Just put actual sugar. So I feel like I would give it a 4.
Dido brand Demon Slayer collab latte.
I don't know if this is different than their usual iced latte, but as far as I could tell, this is a unique product. And if you look on the back, you can immediately see on the sweetener, Mr. K. So I have high hopes for this. And I guess they just want the calorie count of these to be lower, which is weird because if you go into the energy drinks or health supplement area, all of those things are loaded with sugar. And another annoying thing about a lot of Japanese products, they don't have to label how much of the carbs is added sugars or sugar. That has a strange aftertaste. Weirdly acidic, like punch. If you ask me, after having all of these cafe lattes, what is the difference between these and the cafe au laits? I don't know. So I'm giving this
4 out of 10. Georgia Cafe Latte hot.
The final one for last is the only one that has to be drink hot. But we do things correctly here. And if the manufacturer puts in big, bold, big dingo letters, H-O-T, then we're drinking her hot. You can try it cold first just to know. Just to know. Maybe it's better cold. Maybe the manufacturer is wrong. Maybe they've made a terrible mistake. And no one has actually tried this cold yet in the world because it says so distinctively on the packaging, hot. It really doesn't taste almost any different than the other lattes, I gotta be honest. No remarkable difference. It's still just milky, very slight sour, no real bitterness. It's just sweet and milky. I would give this one cold a 5, but maybe hot. It tastes really good, which is why we're microwaving it. It's pretty freaking hot. This is gonna sound crazy, but it does taste better hot. Hear me out. It does taste better. I think it's better. Did cut some of the sugary flavor, just the absence of the hyper sugar and just the warmness of it. I still don't think it's remarkable, but if cold, I would give it a low to middle 5. Warm, I would give it a high 5. It did improve it.
5?
It did improve it.
So low 5.
Yeah, we see when
they're
they're like on the 5.5. When they're on the screen and you can like put them in the little row, like the tier maker or whatever. Some people, you know, the higher the further left it is, the better it is.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah, so this one would be definitely further left than the other one, than the cold one. No, like a 5.2 versus a 5. I'd say I would give this a 5.8. Yeah, I went there. It's drinkable. It's drinkable. If you are in Japan, avoid the word latte at all costs. Every single bottled latte that you can reasonably get your hands on in Japan in a single glass. Disgusting. There is a little bit of bitterness to it, like some of them. No cheesiness. The cheesiness got completely covered up. Bad impurities of the 3s got covered up by the 5, and thus a 4 is born.
4?
Yeah, I give it a 4. Well, it's better than the double cheese, and that was a 3, so I guess I'd give it a high 3 then. But I'd say high 3, low 4. Honestly, a 3 probably does make more sense, but it's just I keep comparing it to the other 3s, and I'm like, well, I guess I'd rather drink that than the weird off cheese one. Maybe I should have just given the double cheese one a 2, and this would be a 3. But it's too late now.
Wait.
It's too late.
Now low sugar brands, which you can usually tell by the golden can.
All right, Boss Light Sugar, which means artificial sugar. All the light sugar cans are gold. Easy to tell which ones to stay away from. Got that smell. Whoa. It does remind me more of the black coffees instead of the milk coffees. It's not great. It still has like a weird sourness that immediately hits you. It's not disgusting. There's nothing horrifically wrong with it. It's just a little sour, artificial sugar. Coffee taste is kind of there on the back end. There's like a tiny bit of bitterness, but overall pretty mediocre. And the artificial sugar isn't doing it any favors, so I give it a 4. I give it a confident 4.
Wanda Gold Light Sugar.
A bunch of words to mean it has artificial sugar. Gold is a premium canned coffee using high quality beans. Every canned coffee says that. I just wanted it to taste good. It smells worse. Smells funkier. Oh, it tastes funkier. That is weird on the end. Huh? You give that a 6?
Yeah.
I think it smells worse and I get more of the artificial sugar weirdness, but I think the back end does actually taste more like pour over coffee. Probably a light roast still, but I think for both of those reasons, I would still give it a 4. It just kind of smells weird. We've combined the artificial sugars with fire low sugar. This is like fresh roasted low sugar or like just roasted low sugar, which makes no sense because it's canned coffee. I feel like I expected the previous fire to taste smoky or roasted. And it did not at all. It does. It smells very different from the other two in another funky way. It has like a pungent sour, wet clothing mold smell taste. I give it a 3. Georgia coffee golden drip, 60% sugar off. I don't know if that just means so they're normal Georgia coffee. So that is meaningless because I don't know how much 50% versus 60% sugar off is. Also, something about golden drip sounds kind of gross to me. This is confusing. Why am I getting like candy? Milky candy? This is a strange, baffling coffee. A coffee unlike any other coffee that I think I've tried so far. Not in a good way. Like if you bought sugar-free coffee candy, a low 3, maybe even a 2. Georgia fragrant, light sugar. This one looks immediately darker than the other one. I think it does taste better than the other Georgia coffee one. Drinking them side by side, oh, even the smell. The smell is so different. This one just smells kind of old coffee. This one, oh, the more I smell this, the more it smells like mold. The more it just smells like funky, wet cloth in a corner. Okay, then this is definitely better. Honestly, I don't even think it's that bad. It's got a mild bitterness to it. It kind of lingers with that coffee, smoky, bitter taste. The milky sweetness still isn't great, but that's probably as good as it's gonna get from light sugar. So I'd give it a 5. Dotor extreme, low sugar, calling means extreme, extreme. Extreme. Artificial sugary milk forward, but way less coffee bitterness than the Georgia one. It's just worse. It's not disgustingly worse, but without that coffee smokiness, it's worse. I give it a 4. Paga coffee, little bit of sugar. Paga since 1972. God, I can only have so much artificial sugar taste. This one, I am getting like midway through sipping it, sudden caramel. It's a very light acidity. Still getting too much like artificial sugar burst at the beginning, but the caramel and coffee's nice. I'd give it a high 4. W coffee with double polyphenol, 90% less sugar, probably tastes just as bad. But the polyphenol strengthens your resistance to disease. Source me.
Artificial.
Yeah.
Flavor is so strong.
90% sugar off, but they also remove 90% of the coffee flavor. Oh, it's really unpleasant.
Wow.
It's like if you just want to drink artificial sugar, there's a hinge of bitter coffee at the end, but this is by far the most egregious amount of artificial sugar packed into each sip, which I don't think these people even exist that just wants to taste big K artificial sugar. It's a 1. It's really bad. TD's coffee, 2 down, toilet drinkers coffee, low sugar. Coffee break, we'll be happy. I won't be happy. So crazy going from hyper artificial sugar to something that is still pretty watery. It does have like a unpleasant smokiness to it. A couple of the previous ones reminded me of gasoline, like being at a gas station. Oh man, maybe this one especially, yeah. Oil smell to it. It lingers on your mouth like a little bit of grittiness. It's unpleasant. It does have more of a bitterness to it. It's not hyper sour, but something about that gasoline gas station taste and smell. Yeah, I give it a 2. I give it a 2. It's a dose. Dido brand, Zeppin coffee, light sugar. Don't believe Dido's lies. I need a glass. Every single drink, every single coffee is getting waterier and waterier. I'm just getting used to it. So mild that I would call it water. Lightly sweetened, watered down, light roast coffee, which is not what I want. Mild in every way. Mild in sweetness, mild in flavor, mild in viscosity. I'll give it a 4. Dido Cafe Lab, fragrant low sugar. The best barista in the world is back. He's brought his best low sugar espresso blend. Clearly shows like drip pour over coffee. Oh, but then it says espresso. It says made with espresso, but then the picture, this is just definitively not espresso. If the world's best barista can't even tell the difference between a pour over and an espresso. Seeing anything that says espresso used to give me hope, but after trying all the espressos, I have no expectations. It's surprisingly mild and kind of just tastes the exact same the whole way through. Lightly sweetened, less artificial taste. So the other one that was water was a 4. Then I'd say this is a 5. Dido Cafe Lab, fragrant, rich, low sugar. So they use the exact same label, exact same pour over picture, and the only difference is they just put like there's no added fragrance, and then they just remove the made with espresso seal of Nintendo on the side. I'm glad that we got both though, because maybe they'll taste completely different. It does taste very similar, but I'm getting more caramel notes towards the end. That is the only big difference that I can tell. I feel like it does actually smell less powerful. It was a little more watery on the second sip. Tiniest hint of caramel, but less bitter overall. I don't hate it. I give it a low 5 being a little more watery, but it does have slight more caramel quality to it. Dido brand premium Demitasse. Demitasse essentially meaning espresso, not to be confused with the actual drinks that just say espresso on them. Except this one contains sugar and milk, so just throw all that out the window. These are the only 2 out of the entire light sugars that did not have big K artificial sugar in. So we'll start with the default one. The default Demitasse low sugar, no big K. A little bit of strange milk flavor, but I am getting coffee. I'm getting a good, decent smoky coffee flavor. Slightly too sweet up front. So I have a feeling that I might like the less sweet one. Bitter, smoky. It's not too sour. It's not too acidic. It lingers and is relatively smooth. In a vacuum on its own, it's tough. No, yeah, I think the Demitasse is better. And I really didn't want to like no artificial sugar to sway me. After trying it next to the other ones right back to back, it is just better. I give it a 6. Wow. Dido brand premium Demitasse green. Light sweetness, low sugar. Could just fix everything that I had a problem with. It tastes less sugary, less milky, but also less coffee. So I think this might just be diluted. It might be the exact same thing. The ingredients on the back are the exact same. I like it definitively less. I'd say if that one's a 6, then this one has to be a 5. So the best sugar-free coffee is just the original low sugar Demitasse, which also just so happens to be the one that doesn't use artificial sugar. Now to combine them all in the King's Cup of Mud, the delicious concoction of every lightly sugared, low sugar, less sugar coffee beverage in Japan. Oh, you have your own. Wow. That's beautiful. This happens for every single King's Cup. The good coffees bring up, they bell curve, kind of group project carry the bad coffees into a passing grade. God, artificial sugar is so bad. It's so bad. 3, confident 3. It's better than the worst, but it's still pretty bad. The next coffees are the group of wild cards that really didn't belong anywhere else, the blend. Milk and coffee drink combos that don't tell you what you're getting until you take the first sip. Georgia coffee, classic original quality coffee. So I guess this is like the UCC coffee. This is just their default original blend with milk. And I don't want to know if it has artificial sweetener. I'm not gonna look. I'm just gonna be pleasantly surprised when it doesn't. Whoa, very sweet. It's got a little bit of a bittersweet caramel taste to it, like a toasty bittersweet caramel. It does not have the artificial sweetener taste, and compared to something like UCC's original blend, I think Georgia Coffee's original blend is better. I feel like I'm actually drinking a coffee. Gave it a 6. Couldn't believe we were starting with a 6. Georgia Coffee Max. Feels like an energy drink or something like it. I feel like it's supposed to have more caffeine and maybe more coffee flavor, but I don't think anything on here, just like the other coffees, say what the caffeine content actually is. It smells less strong than the default Georgia coffee. Oh, that is weird. That, I don't know what happened between normal Georgia coffee and Max coffee. It's got like a sickly sweetness to it. Oh, why is this worse? Like just definitively worse than the original blend. Oh, it's just so sweet. It's so syrupy sweet. It's like getting 200% sugar, like getting a coffee and being like, yeah, can I get double the amount of sugar pumps in it or something? I thought it was gonna have like just really strong punch you in the face, wake you up coffee taste. I give it a 4 because the only real issue is that it's just too sweet. Georgia Coffee Emerald Mountain Blend. Definitely less sweet than the Max. I'm getting kind of a chocolatey taste, or like a chalky, chocolatey taste. I like it less than the original blend, but I like it more than the Max. Surprisingly still drinkable. 4. The original Pocket Coffee. The OG 1972. They probably changed the formula a bunch by now, but oh, this just smells instantly weirder than the Georgias. It tastes instantly weirder than the Georgias as well. Oh, I don't like that. You can see the undissolved milk in the coffee. It's not sour. It's like abrasive bitterness. Undissolved milk floating bits is like immediately not a passing grade. It's just kind of, maybe it's that strange like milky taste, and maybe it's because of the undissolved milky bits is what I'm getting, like sort of a strange powdered instant dairy funk. It's not very strong, but because of all that, another 4. The cheapest coffee out of all these, the Sangaria Blend Coffee. Came out to maybe 60 yen, which converted is at most around 30 to 40 cents. It actually looks significantly darker than the other ones. Whoa. Once again, completely different and utterly bizarre. I don't think I got any coffee flavor. I feel like at the very front, you get coffee. God, it tastes like syrupy, sugary, watery milk. The only one so far I would call like definitively really bad. Like even, at least the Max, it was sweet, but it didn't do anything else wrong. This is just gross. This is a 2. One of the worst tasting ones. It is a 2. Wanda Coffee Morning Shot. The only one of these I have actually had before, and I remember thinking that it was not very good, even though you would think Morning Shot would just be like a bitter, no nonsense, no sugar, wake you up in the morning coffee drink, but maybe it's actually not that bad compared to all the other ones. No, it's just as bad as I remember it. It's not great. It's wow, compared to the Georgia ones that I'm now basing my entire lifestyle on, it's really bad. I think it's like the fact that I've had that before, I probably also found it bad, but now that I've had all the other ones, I'm like, dang, that's definitively bad. It sucks. We had gas station. glue. It does smell a little gluey, like glue stick, like second grade arts and crafts glue stick, which I guess for morning shot, a bitter glue would wake you up. I give it a 2 for glue. Fire satisfying blend. Also says low sugar, which means that it does have big K in it. A little more watery, a little more mild. There is some weirdness to it. I feel like it's like a step up from the morning shot, which I still don't particularly like it. Yeah, so it's like a strange bitterness to it, and the milk flavor is a little more watery. Just a more mild morning shot, so I'd give it a 3. Dido original blend. You know what else Dido made? That was really good. Demi-Tasse low sugar. Except I feel like a lot of the Dido ones have actually sucked. Smells like the paint section of a Home Depot. Yeah, kind of gluey, but more paint. More you left the can of paint out and you're like that, or they're mixing it at Home Depot. Oh, why am I just thinking about a Home Depot paint section? I like can't even taste it anymore. Oh, why am I just getting like smell of paint? I might have just like fixated on that too hard and might be crazy and it doesn't actually taste like smell of paint, but I do not find the taste pleasant regardless of what it tastes like.
Something weird. I was getting weird.
Tastes like taco. Dido original blend taco seasoning. I think at the end of the day, if you look at Home Depot paint section, fresh paint, opened paint, plus stale corn chip, no matter how you spin it, that tastes disgusting. Oh god, it's really bad. It has like, tastes weird. There's almost no milkiness. It's semi-sweet. It's plasticky. It just tastes like chemicals. Slightly sweetened, milky chemical smell. I think that's what I mean by Home Depot paint section. This is really bad. This is a 2. Dido Demi-Tasse coffee blend without any of the low sugar nonsense. The light sugar one was quite good for what it was. This, I'm assuming, is just it with normal sugar, which might be bad. It might just mean that it's too sweet, but maybe it'll be fine. I was psyching myself up. I might be biased, but I think it does taste like the light sugar one, but sweeter. It's got a more like full-bodied, milky sweetness to it. It's not too sweet. Still has that like tinge of smoky bitter coffee. I do find it worse than the lightly sweetened, but I gave the watered down lightly sweetened, I believe 1 point lower, either a 5 or a 6. I feel like just a more sweetened, lightly sweetened should be around the same level. Because it is sweetened, more milky, and there's less actual coffee flavor, it's a 5. Boss Rainbow Mountain Blend. I have a significant amount of things to say about Boss Rainbow Mountain Blend. This is one of the few Boss coffees that exists in America that you can just buy off of Amazon or Boss's website or whatever. I don't know, Asian grocery market, grocery store. The Amazon reviews for this in America are insane. To get an idea of just how amazing Boss Rainbow Mountain Blend should be, let's take a look at the Amazon reviews. Immediately, my life transformed before my very eye. I became buff. Women threw themselves at me. All of my problems solved themselves. It's got just the right blend of sweet and bitter that doesn't make me want to spit it out immediately. And I would like to believe that this review is a joke or planted by a Boss Coffee employee, but these next reviews I'm not so sure. Mark Twain, who is still alive to this day, says, "Wow, these little coffees pack a wallop and the taste is phenomenal. The quality of the roast is quite solid, consisting of slightly woody notes with not a sign of burnt flavor. This should appease any coffee snob anywhere." I guess that means me. 5-star review by Boss Coffee Aficionado, Rainbow Mountain Blend, the apex of Japanese canned coffee culture. What separates Rainbow Mountain from the rest is the undeniable balance and uncompromising depth of flavor. Rainbow Mountain has been notorious coveted by aficionados here in the States for several reasons. That is crazy. Truly delighted that Suntory graces with this absolute gem of a product. And now the Japan Glazer final boss, no pun intended. The can, the myth, the legend. This amazing little can contains such a unique and delicious blend of coffee and milk, and it cannot be overstated just how good it is. I bought this as a gift for my friend because he loves the Yakuza games and the brand is heavily featured in them. That's fair, actually. 5-star review, Nectar of the Gods. But this better be amazing. I gotta really think about this one.
Can I say I review it the same? 1, 2, 3.
4. Yeah. Yep. It's a 4. It's a 4.
4 out of 10.
It's a 4 out of 10. It's not a 4 out of 5. It's not Amazon review ratings. It smells bad. It does have that like kind of mold, artificial smell when you open the can. It has like a sourness. I'm just getting sour on like the back end. I feel like it starts kind of milky, a little watery, probably about 40%. The milkiness turns into a mild coffee bitterness, probably from a light roast. The point is the weird sour milkiness. I don't know how anyone in their right mind could go onto Amazon.com and post about this for Big Jeff to read about, that it's a 5. I don't know how you could be. I feel like I've seen so many people online. Boss coffee's amazing. It's so good. I went to Japan once and I had a Boss coffee and I got the 7-Eleven onigiri and it was the best thing I've ever had in my entire life. I don't know. I don't know how better to articulate that this is so nothing, and I'm utterly confused why people think this is amazing.
You're a coffee gatekeeper, that's why.
I guess so. I guess if you just don't buy fresh coffees ever and you just get canned coffees. I mean, I guess when I was like 14, I thought the UCC coffee blend was amazing because I just had only had Starbucks Frappuccinos and tried my mom's McDonald's mocha once and thought it was bad. Anyway, yeah, it's a 4. I'm done. Boss Coffee Farm Original Rich Blend Coffee. I do like the can a lot. I genuinely do like the matte texture to it. That's kind of winning me over already. And then they got this guy on it that's like from our trusted farm and dripped with pride in Sao Paulo. Dripped with pride.
Drip.
Dripped with pride. It's a drip coffee. Drip. I didn't know that was a verb that we could use. But if you look at this, the Sao Paulo, man, and then you look at the ingredients right here, we can eventually analyze that the Brazilian beans used, it's actually only 60%. So even though they dripped this with pride, they then poisoned it with another 40% of God knows what coffee. So at that point, I don't even know if you'd be able to really taste these specific beans from Sao Paulo. I feel like it's all theater, but maybe not. Maybe this will be really good and I'll look like a clown for the last 5 minutes. If this is bad, I'm gonna immediately like it more than the Rainbow Mountain blend. It's a little syrupy, but the coffee taste is mild yet still pleasing. No extreme sour or acidity. I feel like a lot of the black coffees have that, but none of these have, and maybe that's because of just the milk cutting it, but I'd say it's fine. I give it a 5.
Boss House Blend.
We all want to drink the coffee and be this guy, but I feel like the artificial sweetener is just gonna kill this. Oh, I'm getting a decent amount of caramel, but it starts so medicinal. Like the artificial sweetener is so unpleasant, but I feel like the caramel flavor is nice. It just makes it so unpleasant when it first hits your tongue. Oh. The caramel's nice, but the artificial sugar makes it hard to drink. I think it is worse than the Rainbow Mountain. If I'm using that as like a baseline, I think this is worse. I give it a 3.
Another Boss can simply titled Premium Boss.
This is like extreme roast or extremely like powerful, rich roast. Here's our Dragon Quest character. Sage on the back, kind of matches the blue aesthetic. Not that it will persuade my iron will. Oh, I don't like the smell. Don't like the smell at all. It is probably the most acidic and sour of all of them. A decent bitter kick at the end. The bitterness and sourness, like just flavor palette alone, I don't like it. There doesn't seem to be anything else egregiously wrong with it. It's just not for me. I feel like I gave it a 3, but this one's just more of a personal preference thing.
The Boss Dragon Quest crossover Boss Quest Dark Roast.
I was waiting the entire time, all 87, 80, however many coffees to have this one because it was one of the first ones that I noticed that has dark roast. Also, I mean, it's Boss Quest instead of Boss and Dragon Quest, which I think is kind of cute. It's got the slime on it and like oh no, it's got the slime on it that cursed me by saying lightly sweetened. I was genuinely looking forward to this, and after seeing the lightly sweetened, I'm no longer looking forward to this. I really hate the smell. It does have like a bitter back end, characteristic of something that would be a dark roast. I don't prefer the artificial sweetener taste, but I feel like it is less noticeable than some of the other ones. To me, it's a little less noticeable, and I think it's because it's a little more bitter. Still, yeah, I still don't like it. The big K is doing a lot. The more I drink it, the more noticeable it is, but I do like the roast. I feel like if the roast was bad as well, I'd give it a 2, but because it just got a little bit of nice bitterness on the end, I give it a 3.
Something that had me excited to find because I love Vietnamese coffee, Boss Cafe Vietnam.
The majority of the coffee beans that we buy are Vietnamese coffee beans because having a nice Vietnamese coffee is just really good. But the problem is, this one says lightly sweetened. I don't know why they would do it like that when most Vietnamese coffee just uses condensed milk. So they already blew it. Or sweetened condensed milk, they already blew it. Kind of getting shoe smell. This could have been good. They could have done the right thing, and they did the wrong thing. They chose to screw it up. The taste of the coffee is bitter and punchy. It is pretty close. It's trying to get there. Now that after having that and then having the Georgia Original again, the Georgia Original just has, I got like hints of caramel, much creamier. It tastes way less watered down. And this one has, it's only 85 calories per can, and it's a taller can. 34 calories per serving. This is 19 calories per serving. This is 34 calories per serving. So obviously, right, putting in sugar, you're gonna get more calories per serving, but God, it just tastes so much better. I think after having every single one, I think the Georgia coffee deserves a 6 because it is just definitively head and shoulders above every other blend on the market. Then I guess I have to give it a 6 and say it's at least, it's It's good. It's fine. A 6 to me is better than average, so it's like, it's good. It's not great, it's good. And it is the only good blend. All the other ones were acceptable or bad. I didn't actually rate this because I was so aghast and tired of what could have been. I think I would give a 4. It almost gets there. Every single blend coffee in Japan combined into a single glass. Not as bad as you think. I'm still getting a little bit of weirdness, but overall very just mellow coffee taste. A little milky. I give it a 4. I feel empty.
You're not empty. You're full of like 86.
I'm not empty. I'm full of chemicals. Despite feeling empty, I'm fuller than ever. So all of this led up to a few weeks of saying goodbye to my beloved espresso machine as my wife and I begrudgingly drank the remaining amount of coffees. But it was worth it to find out that after the painstaking process of sourcing, filming, and editing 88 different coffees, the true best canned coffee in Japan is none other than the UCC Ueshima Precious Coffee Moments Brown Sugar Milk Coffee. And if you skip to this part, you now have to subscribe. And if you like this sort of thing and want your name as a supporter in my next video, then consider supporting me on my newly launched Patreon. Supporting me through Patreon would allow me to dedicate more time to making videos like this one. You can get your name in future videos, vote on future topics, and also just let me know that, hey, what you're doing is cool, please make some more. I'm interested in making more channels to cover more of my hobbies and interests as well, but one step at a time. And yes, after drinking the remainder of all these, the first shot of espresso pulled through freshly ground dark roast beans in an open bottom portafilter tasted divine. All right, see you later.